Welcome to Thursday night Fading Suns. I am James, your GM, and with me as always are the crew of... You still don't have a ship. I still don't know what to call you. You're not the Four Horsemen. That's my tour game. But welcome to the Ulysses International channel. This is Fading Suns, a science fantasy game produced by Ulysses Spiel that is coming soon. Backers have PDFs already, and physical products are going to be coming out here very soon. But if you are at all interested in Ulysses and what they provide and what games are available, they do have on Game on Tabletop right now the next Torg Cosm crowdfunding, which is Tharcold, a post-apocalyptic meets Hellraiser, all sorts of fun Russia with nukes and techno demons. So if you've been following the Four Horsemen game and you want to check out Tharcold, go check it out on Game on Tabletop. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, go check out the Four Horsemen actual play that we do on this stream on Tuesday nights. But if you were here for Fading Suns, they still have the late pledge manager open. So if you are waiting or feel like you've missed out and want to back Fading Suns, the late pledge is open. If you go to gameontabletop.com, just search for Fading Suns, you'll be able to find it. So yeah, when we last left off, you guys had managed to break into the shrine of the Hesperians, which turned out to be an old chapel of Beatrice. It looked, St. Beatrice, it looked very much like the one that you found on Antioch. And, excuse me, in confronting this avatar of Ashkagael, this Regina as she went by, you managed to destroy an altar that she was to the Pancrator that she was attempting to defile. She had defiled and was attempting to reconsecrate to the darkness between stars. After the confrontation, you managed to drive her off with some well-placed rounds carved from another altar found on the Raven's Blood around in orbit around Antioch, and seemingly dispelled the presence of Ashkagael and the physical form of Regina, only to have it reappear and snatch Perpetua and disappear in a torrent of feathers and viscera. So we're going to pick up kind of right there. The feathers hitting the floor, a little bit of wet slop also hitting the floor. What are you guys doing?
I was standing right there, and so I will have moved in order to grab Perpetua, only to find her gone.
That's right. Despite your speed and 9 million arms.
Yes.
You get nothing but just a bushel of handfuls of feathers and blood.
I do want to keep some of the feathers.
Okay.
In order to help my understanding in tracking her. I mean, I understand she is a non-entity. I understand that she is a demon, but I want something of hers in order to track.
You have clearly gathered that.
Lovely.
I will fall to my knees, in part out of supplication, but also in part out of, she ripped a rib out of my body, and ow.
She did.
And that's still a problem.
Can you still perform your priestly functions, Father Bell, or will you have to seek out another career, possibly tax collecting or toll booth operating?
I'll be fine.
It's too bad. I've always wondered for whom the bell tolls.
So...
Gonna be one of those nights.
No? Okay, sorry.
Not giving you a weird point for that one. You got the groan. Be happy with it.
So we fulfilled what we came to do. We got rid of Jenna.
Yes, you have the bounty that you can turn in when you get back to more civilized space. You have the bounty on Boris that you can turn in when you get back to more civilized space. And as you are kind of standing there, your squawker kind of comes on, and it is Kanam Hawkwood. Did you do it?
Yep.
Is she gone?
They both are.
Excellent. I have spoken with the new commander of the Hesperians, and they are willing to give you 6 hours to get off New Phoenicia.
Lovely. We will take that.
I go attempt to remedy Father Bell as he falls to his knees. I will go check. Do I see blood?
You see blood on his robes, but you can't find a wound.
Oh, so I can't do remedy on him?
I mean, you can. You just don't find a wound.
Well, I mean, but it's obvious he just didn't fall down to pray. He's bleeding.
Yeah. He kind of fell down and to the right, as if one of his ribs are missing, and he can now bend there where he couldn't before. You also, he is mangled, which means you have to treat the mangled state before.
Okay, I will attempt to treat the mangled state. I'm glad I raised my wits.
Oh yeah, hey, what did everybody take as their
everything?
When you guys leveled up. Mark, what did you take when you leveled up? All right, before we get into that, so Fading Suns has levels, but it is not like a class system. There are classes, but it is not a class system. When you level up in Fading Suns, you get more points to spend and spread out to your characters. So you'll get more characteristic points, you'll get more skill points, you'll get more capabilities, you can pick up new talents.
You
perks,
mean
characteristics.
Perks, that's what they're called.
Yeah, level 4 is pretty big. The vault goes to 15. Increased vitality. Your revive goes up. Surge amount goes up. I now have 2. We all have 2 surges plus 1 because of a perk. For skills, my observe went up. Remedy went up. I took Streetwise as a capability, dealing with all this riffraff. I raised my wits for characteristics, and I already had taken Marksman 2 for a perk as a partial advance before. But then I get a calling perk, and I took that.
Okay. Runner, what did you take?
The perk I had taken earlier was Blood Hunter. Or Bloodhound, sorry. And then the capability I picked up was Jump Gate Lore.
Okay.
In the past, I mean, how even long have we been together? Like 2 weeks? We've dealt with a lot of crazy, especially in the jump gate, going to different areas. And then, I mean, I've increased my pilot skill, and then I think I increased my will and my strength. So, yeah.
I took. It's been a little while because we did like a partial increase. So I think that Mantalk was the thing that I took.
I think you did
right
take
at the start of this
Mantalk.
event. And then let's see. I spent a bit on my survival, spent a bit on my vigor, spent a bit on my melee combat. And let's see. We didn't get a. I'm not sure I applied my. I didn't actually apply my characteristic increase yet. I actually missed that. We got that. So I will be increasing my my wits and my faith.
Okay.
And
no,
sorry, what?
Please continue. I did not mean to cut you off.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And Father Bell, what did you take? New trickery? Possibly new tomfoolery?
Yes.
Or
We'll
toll
be
booth.
creating more hullabaloo. My capability, I solidified my knowledge of history, and so have history lore now. In terms of skills, I had improved, I believe, charm, impress, and observe. In my characteristic points, I increased my theurgy from 5 to 6, and my presence from 5 to 6. And my calling perk, I took another right, all-seeing eye.
And just for the sake of your GM who has to prepare for that, what does that one do?
Yeah, what does it do? Indeed, it's a cross reference to a psi power called Firesight, which allows me to project my vision to another location as if seeing and your own eyes were presence. As a primary action, you can move your point of view slowly to move around the area once you get there. And the more you know the area, the easier it is, the harder it is. Like you're trying to see a place you don't know, but have some personal link, like a warehouse where your friend is being held captive. That's Herculean.
Okay.
But trying to see my home living quarters where I know exactly where it is, that's simply hard.
All right. So you have 6 hours that you're allowed to stay on the station before it looks like the Hesperians may forget the good that you've done for them and run you out of town. So what is the plan?
My first remedy roll, I got a 9, so I succeed because you just have to do at least one. If you can heal at least 1 point, then you remove the mangled state. You want me to roll again to heal points?
Yes.
In doing this, do I feel a missing rib, or is it...
You definitely feel like the rib is gone.
Oh. Yeah. You don't have enough ribs. Were you a gymnast when you were younger? Yeah, remove the ribs, get contortionists type stuff. 2 for 1, I heal 5 plus 1. You get 6.
So, Mark, you
Vitality.
actually have to do surgery to remove the mangled state using the operate action.
If it happened in a different scene. That's why I want to try to do it right away instead of leaving. Did I read that wrong?
I am double checking that.
I'm looking under remedy under the skill. Under treat wounds. The mangle in the same scene, you can remove it. If the mangle in the earlier scene, you must use operate maneuver.
Okay, I know there it is. An earlier scene, you must use the operate maneuver. Nope, you got it right.
No. Which would make a difference if, like, we had to run away, get back to the ship. Well, now it's too late. Now you're gonna have to get operate on, and I don't have operate, and it's a restricted thing because that's not in my path. I'd have to have someone teach me that. So.
I have surgery lore, but I don't think I want to operate on myself.
Yeah, operating yourself is always just a weird thing. So
it happens, you know, bottle of vodka and you go for it.
So I am going to say, Mark, that because the rib was removed supernaturally, that he is going to require more than just what you can do here to remove the mangled state. You can't just just remedy up a rib. That will require the shipboard operations.
But I can probably walk out of here at least.
Oh, you can. As long as somebody's standing on your right side, kind of holding you up.
Just was it left or right? Does he
Brother Gabriel is my strong right arm.
That's right. He lists to the right. All right, Runner, you're in charge here. What's going on?
After I see Cutter finish helping Father Bell, I'm going to gather everyone, and we're going to head back to the ship. We should
bring Brother Theodosius.
If we run into him and he would like to join us, yes.
Who's that?
Outside? The sanctuary and healer that we rescued
Mm-hmm.
and released.
Maybe he can help you because it's beyond my ken.
Okay. Do we see him as we go back to Boris's dropship?
If you head back out the back way, then yes, you definitely see Brother Theodosius is still there kneeling and praying to the Pancreator for victory against the demon from the darkness. His eyes are closed. You don't know if he's sleeping or praying, but as you get closer, you definitely hear the raspy, hoarse whisper of several of the litanies of the Pancreator.
I'll just say, skip a bit, brother. We're getting you out of here.
Amen. And he sort of stands up.
All right. So we will take that ship. Can we take that ship over to our ship in the hangar?
You totally can, yes.
Will it fit in our ship in the hangar? We'll take it over to the hangar, and then some of us will go and get Boris and bring him back.
Okay.
Didn't we put him on the ship?
Jenna's head and Boris's live breathing body.
Didn't we put him on the ship?
I thought we did.
Under guard?
You left Boris with Alexi.
Okay.
We just talked about it then?
You did,
Yes.
but never came to that conclusion.
Our pilot was not comfortable with that idea.
I'm going to go lie down.
All right.
Brother
Cutter,
Theodosius, I suggest that you take a shower and then maybe prep for surgery.
All right. Well, if I am needed, Pancrators will be done. And he sort of stumbles towards the shower.
Are you going to be good here if the ship's secured, Father Bell? While we retrieve our
I will be fine.
guest? Brother Gabriel, you're up for an escort?
once more to the South Purse.
Yes. Escort at your service.
You humans.
There are times in the game where you just keep your mouth shut as the GM.
You know, it's in the lore that the Brother Battles do like to hire themselves out as escorts for ship and pilgrimages, and it's a point of contention among some of us yeomans that you guys just pocket all that money and get richer.
Well, as it happens, we Brother Battles do not, we don't take escort service merely for the money. It's more of a pleasure thing. The money is just for the order.
Yes.
Somewhere on
I just
the
really enjoy my work.
somewhere on the on New Phoenicia, Alexi's like, something is going on. I feel as if there's been a great shift in the balance of this asteroid.
Yep.
All right, so Cutter, Runner, and Gabriel, you are all going to pick up Boris.
Sure.
All right. So you may, as you sort of make your way back to the South Purse, you can see that there are a large number of Hesperians. Remember, they had a huge compound that they were sort of holed up in. There are a lot more Hesperians on the street, and they seem to be out in force. Several of them sort of nod at Runner and Cutter and you, Brother Gabriel, but they don't actually come up and interact. And soon you find yourself back at the Sow's Purse. Alexei is in his room in a silk robe that is far too short and shows off far too much hairy thigh. And he is currently like mopping his head with a cold towel, and he has something fizzy in a glass. Ah, my friends!
Yes.
Welcome back. I did not expect you so soon. It's taking a breather. What can I do for you?
We're here to pick up Boris and let you know that you have fulfilled your obligation to Dorian if you still have Boris with you, and we can take him off your hands.
Boris? Listen, this has been a pretty wild night. I don't know if you heard, but somebody went and attacked the Hesperian compound. She had a lot of blood. Not saying that I did not have a hand in it, but I don't really remember much of the last several hours. Who is this Boris you're looking for again?
The gentleman we left with you, tied up on our chair.
You're going to have to be more specific.
The pirate gentleman we left with you.
Oh, Boris! Why did you not say so? Come! And he turns far too quickly for a robe that short. And then moves into the side room where Boris is gambling. They have removed the chair from the table, and it looks like the top came off in two pieces. And there is a massive roulette table underneath. And Boris is cheering. Everyone else is cheering. And when you guys all walk into the room, everything goes silent. And all you hear is click, 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 meow, meow. And a bunch of people just sigh very quietly as this thing with multiple arms, not a runner, but more of like an octopuppy, starts raking in different stacks of firebirds. Boris, your friends are here. Yes, what?
Does the octopuppy have a name? This is Becca who wants to know.
Of course, Octopuppy has a name. I purchased these things from Byzantium Zagundis. They are I purchased them special. I have them custom made. No one else in universe has creatures
It's
like
Huggle
this.
McGroper, isn't it?
It is not. We call him Chip.
Huh.
Mine was better.
Was it? Anyway, and Boris is like, oh, one more game.
We don't have time for that.
No. Remember me telling you how you were actually left here by Bounty Hunter to come pick you up? He had some of little bottle, little fuzzy. He'll be fine in 6 to 7 days. These are your friends. Go with them.
Yes, Boris, we are your friends. If you stay here, you are going to be in trouble.
I don't want to be in trouble.
Great.
So we are square. You, me, Hawkwood, all good.
I believe so.
You're staying on New Phoenicia? I told you I would show you all of the good spots, especially you, Brother Gabriel. I think we could make lots of firebirds. Maybe fix you on a fight of you versus Runner versus Cutter. I bet on all of you. You all take dive at the same time. Bet against all of you, and you all take dive at the same time.
JM, would Runner know how to get a hold of Decker if we leave?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Because once she gets some money from that, she's going to send some back to Decker.
Okay.
Because he helped capture Boris.
I mean, yes, technically he helped capture Boris. Where are you going now? You staying? You leaving?
We're leaving.
It has been a pleasure, runner. He takes 2 of your hands and it will never work out between us.
No. But I grab Boris and walk out.
And he kind of puts an arm around Brother Gabriel. There she goes, with my bounty in my heart.
Yes. And I'm nothing but a well-paid escort.
Ah, why didn't you say so earlier? We could have made serious money.
Well, we're very selective about our clients, but if you ever need anything, just contact the Battle Order. They'll take care of you.
I will. And he smacks Gabriel on the butt and then turns around and what? Cutter, no matter what they say about you, you're all right. Say hi
I'm
to...
very confused by what just happened.
Say goodbye to Father Hot Pants for me. And I will see you all the next time you come here to New Phoenicia. Let it never be said that Baron Alexius, and the door closes and you don't really hear the remainder of whatever he was going to say.
Nope.
So we're
Right.
never seeing him again.
Probably not.
Evan, have you learned nothing about my games? I will always bring back deep dive NPCs. All right, so you guys make it back to your ship. And when you get on there, you are immediately alerted that the surgical suite is in use. Do not enter the med bay. It has been rendered a sterile field. And so what is the plan? Where are you guys going?
We need to go to some sort of civilized realm, drop off Boris and Jenna's head, and then we head to Phlegathon. I don't know how to get there.
You don't, and you don't necessarily have the jump code for it. It is a restricted. It is a restricted planet by order of the Earth Orthodox Church.
Yes, we gotta go get permission.
I have a feeling we'll be able to swing that once somebody comes out of surgery.
If someone comes out of the surgery,
That's true. That's true.
Natural 20. Who knows what happens to Father Bell? He's reduced to just a head, floating on an anti-grav plate.
Could be an ear.
No, you're fine, Father
We
Bell.
saved the ear.
It's several hours worth of surgery, but the 3D printer prints you a wonderful new rib, and the Sanctuary Aeon priest, Theodosius, manages to implant it and comes out of surgery. Father Bell he is resting. He's resting well. He should be awake in the next several hours, and I think as long as we don't encounter that again, he should be fine. The new rib is even better than the old rib.
Cool.
How is it better?
It's stronger and also faster.
I have so many bad rib puns right now. There's like Three Stooges. They just can't all get out at the same time.
They're just all trying to get through your brainstem at the same time and just can't. That's okay.
I'm trying to think of something happening.
I've been ribbing Evan for at least a week. So, the nearest civilized planet is Ravenna. You can get there within one jump. We've been there
before. Oh.
You have been to Ravenna before. That is actually where you guys left when dealing with when we first opened up the Annals of Antioch. You were leaving Ravenna as that planet.
Was that
Okay.
Dorian's kind of home base? Was that a Ravenna?
It was.
Okay, well, we could return there and see if maybe the Hawkwoods can help procure the dispensation to go to Phlegathon.
Yeah. That's the goal.
All right. Well, several hours later, you've made it to the jump gate, activated it, and soon you pass through and soon are arriving to Ravenna. You know that the Cathedral of St. Ambrose is the main cathedral on Ravenna, and that the bishop in charge of that is Bishop Charles. So you get a contact from the planetary governor. Who is this? Where are you planning to dock? What is going on? Father Bell, you are up and around. It feels like, you got punched in the side a couple of times. Repeatedly.
Yeah.
This is Runner with Darian Hawkwood's ship. We're here to deposit bounties and talk to Lord Hawkwood.
I don't believe that Dorian is available. He is currently off-world, but I can pass you through. Do you know how to get to the Hawkwood Estates?
I'm assuming I do.
You do.
Okay. Yeah.
Valoria Hawkwood is there, according to my system. I can patch you through to her.
Lovely. So, JM, I know as a bounty hunter where I drop off these bounties, but where does Becca? Becca doesn't know where we drop off bounties. Where do we drop off?
You can drop them off with the Hawkwoods. They're the ones who put the bounties out. So
Excellent. That's who I want to see. All right.
So the chat, Occam's Razor, and I'm not sure if this is if the person commenting is Occam's Razor or they are applying a new GM's Occam Razor, but they said that the more over the top the accent, the more likely the NPC is to reappear, which either way I agree with. So your ship descends down through the atmosphere of Ravenna, and you quickly find yourself landing on a beautiful, well-tended, lush courtyard that seems to be made of stone, but it bears the weight too well to just actually be any sort of natural material. And then trees and grass. You can see where it looks like at some point recently this estate was under siege, because there are definitely holes in the walls. You know, during the Husk outbreak, that House Hawkwood was one of the places that the Husks targeted. But you can see a priest. I feel like I'm setting up a bad joke. A noble, a priest, and a knight walk up to your ship. The noble is Dorian's eldest daughter, Valeria. Runner, is that you?
It's me, Valoria.
All right, come on. Dad said to help you however we can.
Lovely. I will offload the crew and the bounties.
Father Bell, it is always good to see you. Welcome back to Ravenna.
Bless you, my friend.
Cutter. What brings you here? Are you going back to Antioch to help Father?
Not unless he needs help.
We haven't heard from him since he went through the gate.
That doesn't make me nervous.
Brother Gabriel, are you the one escorting the prisoners per your service?
It's my job, man. I'm an escort.
Well, I mean, maybe not the prisoners.
I got the bag.
Yeah, there's a sack that's dripping, and then Boris. And Boris has definitely come out of whatever Alexei has given him, and he has become more surly and more unruly the longer the trip has gone. I see. All right, I will, Severin. And the knight kind of steps forward. You don't know where Severin is from. He is definitely not a member of the Battle Order, but he stands nearly as tall as Gabriel.
I kind of do the...
He has the the resplendent plate mail with the tabard that bears the House Hawkwood symbol on it, and a large broadsword across his back, and a heavy auto feeder strapped to his side.
Nice broadsword.
Nice. I think you lost the rest of your blade. He looks at just the wire blade hilt.
Man, if we weren't on the air, I have a joke. So frustrating.
I applaud your restraint, Richard.
You know what I'm capable of, John.
I do. It is frankly frightening. So he takes Boris, and Valeria says, "We will get the paperwork worked out and the credits transferred over to you, Runner." Father didn't really speak of what he was sending you on, but he spoke of it as if it was dangerous. I can't imagine that going after one, and Severin shakes his head and holds up the bag. Two bounties is what he would have sent you, the four of you, after. Wait, where's Perpetua?
We have much to speak about.
My dearest and oldest friend.
Oh, crap.
Mm-hmm. She watched over you when you were younger, didn't she? Anyway.
We have a long history together. Well, come. I have refreshments set out. We can discuss what is needed. Now, you guys know Valoria is poised to take over this estate. She runs it in all but name only at this point, because technically Dorian is the patriarch of this branch of House Hawkwood. But Dorian always speaks highly of Valoria. She is competent. She has a keen mind for the running of the estate. In Glorantha, she would have a very high managed household skill. It's actually
Important
a skill. It's right. You gotta be able to translate NPCs throughout all the different games.
That's right.
And so she takes you in, and you guys know that the priest who is, or the priestess who is with her, is another one of her friends, Amelia. She is a member of just the straight Orthodox sect. She is not a member of one of the smaller sects of the church. But she escorts you into the estate, and very soon you are seated around a table on one of the terraces that sort of overlooks the river that cuts through the main city here. And you still see the scars of that husk outbreak. It got very, very intense. They were requiring to burn large places of the or run, that they were burning parts of the city that the Battle Order was attempting to take, fight the husks. And yes, Phantom of Truth, I do feel like they are very close to the battle, or Brother Battles are very close to that other thing that we should not mention here. But I do see them as the larger, taller, broader sort of. If you go back and look at the What's the other game called, Becca? The Chronicles of the Oh Boy. I do see them as sort of receiving those special vitamins and hormone treatments. They tried to give Jexa the treatment, and she definitely ran away from that. So,
which is dangerous when you're in adolescence.
Right.
Young children get that gene therapy.
That's right. So,
as we were walking towards that building, I'm sure we will separate the groups just slightly, and I will lean into Brother Gabriel and just say, all flash, and nod towards the shiny knight.
He is a shiny knight.
He's also taller.
That's fine. I've seen Brother Gabriel in action.
I appreciate your camaraderie, Cutter, but don't worry, I'm not intimidated. I appreciate what these types do for loyalty to their lord, but we brothers battle have God on our side. Also, I'm pretty sure I could take him.
Valoria kind of sets you guys down. All right, so please tell me what is going on. How can we help? What did Father send you on? And where is Perpetua? Brother Gabriel, please stop glaring at Sir Bors. Sir Bors, please.
I wasn't glaring, I was just assessing him.
When she's asking the questions, who is she looking at?
She defers to Father Bell.
Okay.
Father Bell, you obviously having been a tutor to this estate before kind of stepping out on this, as a member of right, everyone but Cutter is a member of Dorian's retinue, right? That was kind of where this all started. So you've all been on this estate before. You've all interacted with these people before. So she sort of defaults to Father Bell as the tutor and spiritual advisor of the household. You all also know that Amelia is a member of the church here, and that the church here is actually Temple of Asti aligned. So.
Oh. Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Did they take the bounties?
Oh yeah.
Am I still
Bors is escorting them to the dungeons here.
And the sack.
Yeah, he took the sack from you.
Okay. I just didn't want to walk into the estate kind of wondering where do I put this dripping thing down,
Oh, Cutter. Classic Cutter.
He's a yeoman. This is way over his head.
They sort of hired you on here. You have not been here before. Aside from this, you've interacted with Valoria on a couple of times, but in a very sort of yeoman, noble, interaction.
Lady Valoria, to understand your commission to us, we have to start here in Ravenna with the husk infection.
I remember.
Which we have definitively traced to powerful dark forces, which were confirmed when we were mysteriously cast through a gate and arrived in Antioch. There is a greater force at work as well, I believe, and we have seen the signs. And it is the power of the Pancreator working through a lost saint who was important on Antioch and is a powerful counterweight and foe of the darkness that we fight.
Is that not the point of all saints, Father, that their souls' mirror is more burnished? They serve to spur us on to stand as
yes. And this one has tapped into, or we have been woven, however, in whatever minor way, into this saint's continuing story. This saint is Saint Beatrice, a lady of light, who was remembered, one of the remnants of our faith in lost Antioch, and her ancient enemy is a darkness from between the stars known as Ashkagael,
Isn't that all of our ancient enemies, Father? As I remember you telling me, we must.
Yes,
but this is a very specific ancient enemy. Okay, there's like generalities that you had in like your church teaching, and then there's these specific evils that are trying to crawl their way up into your nostril to set up residence in your brain. This is more of the second thing, so just let Father Bell finish the story.
My apologies, Brother Gabriel. Please continue, Father Bell.
Thank you, brother. We met and defeated a fragment of Ashkagael over Antioch, and I believe we, with the support of Saint Beatrice, banished that fragment. Beatrice and Ashkagael have a history. When Beatrice still lived, after she had walked with the prophet, she defeated Ashkagael in a battle between light and darkness, and I am not sure, but Ashkagael may not only have been banished, but perhaps fragmented into different pieces. The ship that carried us through the gate was a pirate ship that belonged to a group called the Hesperians, but they had been hired and in fact been infiltrated by a cult of antinomists known as the Abandoned. And the Abandoned are worshiping Ashkagael, and Ashkagael is working through them to try and return and to gain more purchase in our space, in our universe. And so your father commissioned us to find the origin of the pirate ship and to try and trace the cult through them. And indeed, on New Phoenicia, we found that the Hesperians had essentially been taken over. Their leadership had turned antinomist, and they had gone so far as to bring an ancient temple of an ancient chapel of St. Beatrice to New Phoenicia, desecrate it, and we're using it as a nexus to bring Ashkagael more power and influence. We invaded the Hesperians' territory on New Phoenicia. We confronted the chief priestess of Ashkagael and slew her. But Ashkagael had inhabited the corporeal form of the pirate captain, a woman named Regina, and we faced her in the chapel, and she was trying to do something in forming a desecrated altar that would somehow further aid in this attempt at returning Ashkagael to greater power. We thwarted her, but in the fight, she manifested and somehow transported Perpetua away. Perpetua was instrumental in opposing her, and she worked some revenge. But I sense that Perpetua is not slain, not destroyed, but evidence that we found in the chapel point to the possibility that Perpetua has been taken to the place of conflict, the last conflict directly between Ashkagael and Beatrice, and that is a planet called Phlegethon. We need to do more research, but we must be swift because Perpetua is in danger, and in fact, House Hawkwood and the Imperium is in danger from this demonic being.
I can put a call in to Bishop Charles and see if he would let you go and see their records. I know that that the church there maintains a library. You know that the Avesti are strict in their keepings to the teachings of the Pancreator, and I'm sure that they seal away material that even the Inquisition would allow out. I'm sure that you may be able to find something there. Give me, I don't know.
Crow's ears up their butts, a lot of them.
Yes, I seem to think that is a very appropriate way to describe them, although I would not describe the bishop that way. He seems to have relaxed his grip on that crow's ear in his old age.
I'm sure that the Prophet and the Pancreator will show them the way.
Well, he was instrumental in helping us stopping the husks. We have to find Perpetua. I will...
I agree.
Give me 15 minutes. I will have a call in with Bishop Charles, and I will have a flitter prepared to take you there. I will be right back. She sort of stands up and walks out very... I mean, she's keeping it together, but she seems very disturbed by basically everything you told her.
I would be worried if she wasn't disturbed.
Very soon, she returns. The bishop will see you. I've called in several favors, but it will be up to you, and she sort of nods to Father Bell and Brother Gabriel, to get access to the sealed records. I'm sure that Charles is a friend.
You didn't mention the Crozier comment, did you?
This is not the time for a brick, Brother Gabriel. This is the time for neither the time for a brick nor a rapier. It is the time for subtlety and the pen. So, no, I did not mention that. I would say you should probably not mention that if you want access to the restricted libraries. I have had Bors bring around my car, and he will take you to Ambrose Cathedral. Yes?
Forrest is the guy we brought in. Severin was the knight.
Severin, yes.
Okay. Lovely.
Severin is the knight, but Bors is another one of her house guards. B-O-R.
Oh, okay.
All right, well...
And in kind of like an offhand question, are my bounties getting paid?
They will be getting paid, yes. Do you think I would prevent you from getting all of that sweet, sweet money?
Yes, I do think that.
Wow, Becca. I'm
Because how many times have I tried to get money for Jexa and it keeps just disappearing?
I am not about to get into that conversation with you, but I would like to point out that I do believe that your step uncle Gregor makes sure that you get all of the money that you need, so with interest. So,
Gregor's not here, and I hope Runner gets paid because then Cutter gets paid.
None of you have the Chartophylax perk, do you?
No. What?
Okay. If you had the
got some
Chartophylax perk, you would just be able to say, I am allowed to view the restricted libraries and sort of waltz in. Maybe sachet, depending on the pants that Father Bell is wearing.
Wrong character.
So, Bors is waiting in the car, and it is a sleek air car of not Second Republic manufacture, but definitely based off of that, something that the Charioteers and the Engineers Guild have put together for House Hawkwood. And you soon take to the skies, and Ambrose Cathedral, again, sits up on this, it's in the capital city, but it sits up on this hill so that all of the city is kind of in the valley that sort of surrounds it. And it is this magnificent edifice that has been built by the church. It is beautiful. It has its own, you have the main cathedral. There are several buildings. There's a small abbey that is on site. It has a not a full monastery. It does have a small garrison for the battle order to be housed there, and it does have its own landing spot. And very soon, you guys have just a short jump from the House Hawkwood estate to the cathedral, and there are 3 battle order members waiting for you when you land, and they sort of stand. It goes battle order, Temple of Vesti, priest, battle order, Avesti, battle order. And so one of them comes forward. Always a pleasure to meet members of the Ashkagael order and more of the battle order. I am Suri. How might I greet you first in the name of the Pancrator, and how might we be of service?
Thank you. I believe Lady Valoria Hawkwood has contacted Mr. Charles on our behalf.
Yes, the bishop asked me to see what you need. He is the bishop of the cathedral and is quite busy, and I am, again, at your service, Father Bell.
Suri? Father Suri? Do I have that correct?
No, Sister Suri.
Sister Suri, sorry.
They're working on accent. Is this S-I-R-I? Siri, what's the...
No, S-A-R-E-E.
Okay. Distinctly legally they're separate.
Yes.
Siri, show me. No.
I've been holding it in.
Just let it out, Richard. Let it out.
Just remember, I do the talking and you do the violencing.
It's a strict separation of powers.
We have need to conduct research into restricted archives. based on a mission that we need to conduct on behalf of House Hawkwood and the church. I think perhaps there is a better place to discuss the details than here on the tarmac.
Yes, it will be. I will do what we can, but you know, as it says, bind away the knowledge of the darkness, so it does not lead the sheep astray. And I am not sure what we may be able to share with you.
Well, I think that you will be able to share everything that is available in order to carry out the will of the Pan-Creator, the Prophet, and the Saints. But we
always adhere to the will and the word of the Pan-Creator and the Prophet and the Saints.
Then we are in an accord.
All right, she bristles. Umbrage has been taken, Father Bell. And she spins on her heels and starts walking to the cathedral at a very brisk pace. The other three battle order sort of nod to Brother Gabriel. Brother. Doctor. They sort of spread out in kind of a half circle around you. And the wide-eyed acolyte of the Avesti just kind of glares at Father Bell with more indignation and less tact than the sister. Well, come on! You can't keep Sister Cerie waiting.
I'm moving on.
Okay. She takes you in.
Of course not. Of course you shouldn't.
A small door at the back of the cathedral, and you very soon find yourself in sort of a resting room. You can hear the chants of the liturgical hours being performed by a large. I mean, the sound of it sounds like a choir of the Avesti, and you know, Father Bell, and you know, Brother Gabriel, that right, the Avesti are the strict and literal adherents to the Omega Gospels. And so Sister Cerie sits down. And what exactly is the knowledge that you are seeking, Father Bell, and what purpose? You do realize that both the member of the Avesti and the Inquisition restrict information for very good reasons.
As it says in the Gospels, beware the dark between the stars, bring a lantern to it. Knowledge is the lantern that I seek, because there is grave danger to the Imperium. As you know, the Eschatonic Order has pursued the knowledge to protect humanity, to vindicate the church, and to glorify the Pan-Creator and the Prophet, and to be guided by the saints. I claim no special dispensation. I am but a humble tool of higher powers and the will that guides us all.
Spoken like a member of the Eschatonic Order.
Then I am playing my role. But
you know that they are still not super happy that you are an accepted.
That's okay, but we're still all friends here.
Sure.
One One big happy.
I think they'll be willing to say you're not an enemy, but not a friend. Not quite.
What do you know of the saint, the saint called Beatrice, the Lady of Light?
You see, she kind of, her eyes kind of,
Twitch.
I tap the reliquary.
lose focus for a bit. I know that that is not a name that should be said. That Beatrice is on the list of sanctioned saints. And I would be wondering where you found her name, or I can only assume by the way that Brother Gabriel reacted reflexively, some sort of reliquary of this saint?
You are perhaps familiar with the claim that House Hawkwood has asserted on the lost planet of Antioch?
Yes, the nobles grab at whatever land and people they can.
And you are familiar perhaps with the fact that a lost flock has been rejoined to the church, the body of the church. Perhaps you are unaware that it is through the hand Creator acting through his saint, Beatrice, a companion of the prophet, that this has been accomplished. On the planet of Antioch, we found a reliquary which contained the mantle of Saint Beatrice. Brother Gabriel is her chosen champion.
I am.
I thought you hadn't figured that out, but he is.
Yes.
And long ago, she foresaw the need for members of the church to act against a rising darkness, and she left her mantle and a weapon, which has come to the hands of Brother Gabriel. And to me, I have been blessed with visions of her light, and her great foe from the darkness between the stars is a demon whose name I would not like to invoke, but I do not fear her, for I have faced her, and Saint Beatrice has triumphed each time.
The Pancreator has triumphed each time.
Indeed, working through his saint.
Her left eye is just...
And now this demon, whom I name as Ashkagael, who is nothing before the might of the Pancreator, but who seeks to work great evil among humanity and the stars, has retreated to a stronghold on a planet called Phlegathon. And we need to arm ourselves with the knowledge that will allow us to further banish this creature. I can give you more proofs. We can pray on it.
The name that you mentioned is known to us. That is the name that the antinomists here were invoking when they summoned the husk plague.
Indeed. For that was the hand of Ashkagael as well. And we had a part in dispelling it.
So, Father Bell, I would really love you to give me a presence plus charm roll.
Ooh, charm.
Do you need a weird point, Father Bell?
I have a weird point.
Okay.
I will spend it. Presence plus charm.
Cutter, Runner, and Gabriel, please give me a perception plus observe roll. This is going to be a sort of this will not generate VP for you. I'm just trying to see what you roll and kind of what you get, if that makes sense. You gotta.
Am I using my nose or my eyes?
Your eyeballs.
I have a success, and I will spend 8.
You are making an impression. All right, Runner, what did you get?
I got a 13 out of 14.
All right, Gabriel. Perception plus observe roll. What did you get, Cutter?
5 out of 16. And Runner, you do smell Cutter sweating nervously.
Can you turn on?
Failed.
Okay. Cutter and Runner, you notice that the battle order that is standing here, the brother battles and sister, they all bear the seal of the Inquisition on their armor. They are standing here watching you.
Oh. These are the guys that are on the tarmac?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should have mentioned that before I came in here, because I'd have stayed on the ship.
You didn't ask for a perception roll, so...
That's true.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been keeping my mouth shut, obviously, as Father Bell is talking, and I'm definitely watching the siblings battle. Yeah. Preparing that if they move towards Father Bell to get between them and him.
Narratives which continue.
Okay.
Not aggressively, but I will stand between them.
All right.
Should be fairly easy. If you can take 3 of them, I might be able to delay one until you can get to them.
I appreciate it.
Brother Gabriel, you guys, Brother Gabriel didn't notice, so I can take you
Just hanging with my brothers.
to the archives, and we will see what you find, Father Bell. But I must speak with the bishop and others, and she glances towards the battle order. For what you say you have and what you say you have encountered needs to be reviewed. But you have at least impressed upon me that if you are allowed to leave the cathedral, you should go with the knowledge. If you are not, then it does not matter what you know. The Inquisition will see to you.
I have no fear of the Inquisition. I have no fear for my soul or the Pancreator.
Then you have nothing to fear here.
I know.
Come with me. All of you. And she stands up.
Thank you, sister.
And she leads you through the cathedral. Yes, Cutter? You have the I want to do something look in your eye.
I don't really want to go deeper into this cathedral of
Doom.
judgment. But I will get up with the group and go with them.
I
I was kind of hoping, like, Father Bell, follow me, and the rest of you stay here. But that's okay.
That's not what happened. And you, as you travel deeper into, let's call this the Temple of Doom. She leads you down to the catacombs, and there is a large vault down here. And between her and one of the battle order, they input a series of codes on what look to be archaic dials that are built into the side of the vault, and you can hear things spinning and the loud clangs of bars and bolts being drawn back. And as the doors open, you can see lights start to come on, and there is a magnificent library down here, which seems strange that you would keep it down in, below the cathedral, but when she passes through the door, you can see there's some sort of static effect around her, And she sort of steps through. Well, if your information is anywhere, it will be here.
Thank you, sister.
All right.
And is there a index or a...
There is Saint Dewey. There is. You're going to have to give me an academia roll to try and find what you're looking for there, Father Bell. There is no curator or caretaker here. But when you pass through the doors, you all feel that same sort of static. You see the same light kind of around you, and there is a runner for a brief second, kind of. In here's like everything is climate controlled in this room. It is sort of the perfect temperature and humidity for the preservation of these ancient scrolls and data sets and books and holovids and hard light data storage and solid state data. I mean, you are walking through the history of the Imperium, kind of going all the way back to the Second Republic. Whatever the Temple of Esti has in here, they must consider it pretty bad to sort of be, sequestered away like this. Because you are in this library, however, Father Bell, I will allow it to be a favorable roll for you. So you will get to roll 2 dice and pick the better of the 2. What are the other 3 of you doing while, the other battle order are following you in here?
I would like to subtly be between Father Bell and the nearest battle order.
If you want to give me a dexterity plus sneak roll just to see if you can blend in. You are a Vorok, so subtle is not an adjective that we normally apply to your movement or actions.
True. I rolled a 1.
How much are you willing to spend to see how subtle you can be? Or you just want to say, I am not that subtle?
I will spend 4.
I was like, if she surges, this is going to be the funniest use of... Okay. You can't tell if they notice. You don't notice notice them noticing you, but you sort of position yourself right where you want to be.
Right. It's more of just as we walk, like, I happen to keep getting in front of one of them who is trying to get closer to Belle, and so they cannot. And it's just because I'm so big. I'm sorry. I'm just in the way all the time. I don't know how it happens.
I'll just wander away looking at whatever. Does one of those dudes follow me?
Yep. One of them follows you.
Very good. I'm just looking around. I know how to read and write, but this is more books than I know what to do with.
Gabriel, what are you doing?
Well, I'm doing what all brother battles do when they hang out together. I am quietly, tactically assessing the situation and figuring out in what order I would kill them. This is not an alarm state.
This is your relaxed hypothetical daydream state.
What you do. I'm like I would grab that pencil and I'd put it in that guy's eye, and then I would pull out his spleen, and then so I'm just kind of like assessing the situation for fun, mostly because books are kind of boring.
It's not the books that are boring; it's the fact that they're just filled with words.
Yeah, I mean, a book is a pretty useful weapon under certain circumstances, especially like some of the really big ones they have in here,
Yeah, the ones that have like the metal corners,
Yeah, you just jam that in a guy's mouth and start John Wicking him.
That's right. Books like that are available from Ulysses, the collector's edition of the Dark Eye book, for example, or the collector's edition of it. Basically,
great book to John Wick someone with.
100%.
I could probably take one of these really thick illuminated books and just put it on my chest to stop bullets.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just kind of
sort of assessing the situation. All right, Father Bell, what did you get?
I take it this is a wits plus academia roll.
This is a wits plus academia roll.
All right.
Another weird point.
No.
It's already favorable.
Okay.
Yes, it is already favorable. And for a moment, it feels like maybe I'm not quite gonna make it, but then I pull on the threads of fate and turn my 14 to a 12, which beats the 13 that I need.
All right. So, Father Bell, this is a spend. You will find the information that you want. The more you spend, the quicker you find the information.
How about 10?
All right. Half a bell later, well, a full bell later, but half a hour later, you find it. There is an account of what happened on Phlegathon, and on the surface, it looks like it was a terraforming accident. That's what it is not uncommon, or it was not uncommon at that time for terraforming to go wrong. It was still a new science. Even the best of the terraformers still made mistakes. There are reports of the rivers containing too much iron content, and the atmosphere becoming toxic, and kind of the typical high level, like what a church scribe would record. However, there is also an account from a Brother Haz, who reports that as a member, he was a member of the terraforming group that went there. He was observing on behalf of the church, and something was found on the planet. He describes it as a basalt castle that reared up out of the ground like a claw from the grave. Most of the people who came back from that terraforming mission, including Brother Haz, they died relatively soon after making it back to known space, and not all of them had the firmest grasp on their sanity when they returned. Father Bell, as you look through this, it is the recordings of the ravings of a madman. Save for the fact that you've seen some of these things. Bodies spiked to altars. The stench of the planet being like that of an abattoir. That it lingered for days in one's nose, and that I will never be clean again, just kind of repeated throughout there. And also a reference multiple times to the mother of crows and ravens and the caretaker of carrion. And then finally, at the end, a reference to Ashkagael. Kind of linking all of that together. And with there, you do see in the terraforming reports, there are the star charts for the planetary for both northern and southern hemisphere. But you do find the jump gate code.
Cool.
Are there any charts or maps or anything that show the surface, this basalt castle, the facilities that were used, that the terraformers were using, anything like that?
Yeah, you have access to those charts, and if Perpetua were here, she would be able to incorporate them into her think machine. But
yeah,
sadly,
but not.
it looks like the dome At least when they left, the Terraform site dome was still operable. It has the codes to access that as well. And there were several... their engineer guild, they still use something like this. They're basically an environmentally sealed crawler that allows one to travel through hostile environs. You also know that it looks like the terraforming engines, like everything was left behind. Like the Avesti just sealed the whole thing.
So this is something like decades old or centuries old?
More like millennia old.
Millennia old, okay. So have to be some pretty good slash heretical tech for it all to be working still, but hey.
Not so much heretical, but, you know, definitely against the current prescriptions of the church for use in general.
Right. So for purposes of Temple of Vesti, heretical.
Yes. Sure. Maybe not heretical, but definitely like wildly outside what is prescribed for use even by the nobility in so there's this balance, right? Like the church has laid down these prescriptions against technology of certain tech levels for the majority. The guilds operate higher technology, and the church operates higher technology, as do the nobility. So they form this triangle of essentially mutually assured destruction, right? When the church prescribed the first thing against, weapons tech, the nobility and the guilds were like, in the words of a certain, the come and take it mentality. And so the church has rewritten the prescriptions so that the nobilities bear the burden of the sin of using technology so that society may continue, much like the guilds bear the burden of the sin. It's almost like a scapegoat or a sin eater type of clause. That way the church can say, it's fine for you to use them. We get to use them too.
Aren't there some worlds that still use the terraforming? Because it happened and it just keeps running, but they haven't done anything new. It's just
exactly
terraform. You can live here, but don't ever do it again.
Right. Most of those happened. Most of the worlds were terraformed before or during the Second Republic.
Yes.
Right. Not afterwards, when the church sort of rose to prominence.
Well, so is the protocol? I mean, they're letting me examine this and then deciding whether or not they let me walk out with my friends afterwards. Is this a situation? I mean, is everybody standing around staring at me, examining these books? Or
well, as you look back, it's very clear to you that Runner has placed herself between you and the two battle order you can see. All three of the battle order members here, the two that are guarding you and Brother Gabriel, have this faraway look in their eyes as if they're all figuring out how they would murder each other at this moment. And you can hear the clomping boots of another battle order, the other battle order member that followed Cutter.
I'm just wondering. Looking for a picture book.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely, I mean, I will try to commit everything to memory, but I'm going to take some notes too, particularly of
give me a will plus focus roll.
Will plus focus.
The doors hiss open again, and Sister Suri comes in. You may leave now. I must speak with them in the privacy of the library. It comes from Bishop Charles, and the battle order, one of them kind of touches a patch on her neck and sub-vocalizes, and the one following you kind of stops, nods, and walks away.
Is this a blind bid sort of situation, or just...
No, 6 will allow you to commit all of this to memory.
Okay. And I rolled a 2, and I will surge and spin.
All right, so Father Bell, you have the map committed to memory, you have the jump gate code, and you have the access codes to the domes. You're pretty sure you're going to need survival gear on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If we only had a scout.
We'll be meeting her there.
Hopefully.
He's scouting it out ahead.
You must hurry. The Inquisition has heard that you are here, and there are several who have taken an interest in this Beatrice, Saint Beatrice. You are not the only ones who have been investigating into them recently. The Inquisition is moving against her revelation. Those who were involved with her. There was an incident at Milan Station. An entire space station lost power, and many lives were lost. There's another of the Battle Order, a Sister Gemma. She has been, according to the Inquisitor here, leaving a trail of heretical footprints throughout the known worlds. I have a fear that the Inquisition is coming for you all.
Wait, a sister who?
Gemma?
Gemma, not Jenna.
Not Jenna. Gemma.
Okay. It's a big universe.
It's a big universe.
I will pray for their enlightenment, and I thank you.
You need to hurry. Sister. Do you have what you need?
I do indeed. Or could mention to them that nothing seemed to be there.
It doesn't matter.
You know, I leave it to their. Then we shall withdraw. May the prophet's light shine upon you.
And you as well, Father Bell. I do not know if what you speak is the truth, or merely the truth as you see it. But what you said seemed to resonate, and the fact that you have... She kind of looks with disdain at Cutter and Runner, but...
I'm used to it.
Your Brother Gabriel, and you... Sister Gemma, when I spoke with her the last time she was here, spoke with earnestness as well. I will begin my own investigations.
Somehow this is tied because when the demon spoke on New Phoenicia, she mentioned Milan Station too.
Hurry, you have maybe 10 minutes before the inquisitorial ships arrive. They were investigating the Husk outbreak.
Cleaning up after others is so often is the case. Let us withdraw. Post haste.
All right.
As soon as we leave church, where I'm assuming our comms were at least quieted, if not completely shut off, I'm going to call ahead, to Valoria Hawkwood and see if she can get together environmental suits for us, or if we'll have to find it elsewhere.
And medical supplies would be nice. Go through those quite a bit.
Fully outfitted ship that will take us through.
The ship that you have will.
Excellent.
I mean, yeah, Runner, I can get them for you. How soon do you need them? Did you find what you were looking for?
We did. Can you get them to us in 10 minutes?
10 minutes for environmental suits and medical supplies? Did Gabriel say the thing that I told him not to say?
Yes, he did.
I didn't say anything. I was
super quiet.
It's just an entanglement that no one usually expects.
As you guys are talking and walking to your ship, you can see that there are 3 inquisitorial, not battle order, not the 3 that you saw. There is about a half dozen, inquisitorial troops standing at the ramp of your ship.
Oh.
Valoria, can we get one of those in 10 minutes?
I will see what I can do. Get back here as quick as you can. I'm assuming in about 10 minutes.
Yep. All right.
So who's in charge?
A sergeant in sort of a faceless helmet steps forward and holds up their hand. You can see a digitized inquisitorial seal appears on this. By the order of Inquisitor Francus, you are ordered to stand down and relinquish your weapons. You are being remanded into Imperial custody.
No.
I don't think you have clearance for that, actually.
You say no, and there's that one guy whose hand definitely kind of creeps to his side.
I mean, I'm gonna just keep walking towards.
Now, this isn't the regular ship. This was just the transport from House Hawkwood to here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, the little
flitter-like
flare
thing. Yeah.
I said stop.
Excuse me, sir. What rank are you?
Sergeant.
Right, Sergeant. Well, as you probably know, according to the Accord of 4235, all Vestites are required to obey Orthodox clerics of equal or higher rank.
You see, the sergeant kind of looks at his built-in think machine on his armor and kind of
Look me in the eye when I'm talking to you.
All right, give me a impress plus presence roll there, Brother Gabriel.
Does he get anything? Because I'm just still stalking towards them.
Are you trying to be super intimidating, runner?
I am. I want them to move. They're going to get out of my way.
Rearing up like some sort of millipede centaur, runner gets larger. And you can make this a favorable roll, Brother Gabriel.
I'm gonna go in third. And I'll spend 11 on this.
Okay. And it is favorable.
Just remember, Becca, when you say you grab all 8 guards, you can say, look, you said I was a millipede and I've got 9,000 arms, so...
For the record, in case this is your first time tuning in, Voroks only have 6 limbs.
So I succeed with a 9.
Okay. Do you want to spend all 9 to overcome mental resistance?
Yeah, sure.
All right. The sergeant definitely looks at you, and you see all of the other 5. They all sort of snap to attention reflexively as well. I mean, yes, brother, what? I am sorry, but...
Right, so, here's how this is gonna go. Alright? I've got important work to do on this ship. So we're gonna get on this ship. And when your superiors show up, we'll talk to them.
Where will you be taking the ship?
I'm not going to be taking the ship anywhere, soldier.
Right.
Stand up straight.
Who will be taking the ship where so that I can tell the Inquisitor when he arrives where to find you?
I said, let me see your weapon.
He unsnaps and hands you his auto feeder.
This is filthy.
Runner, you at this point can walk, like, you can just walk past. Are the rest
I
of
just kind of gently put my hand on Father Bell's back and kind of, let's go, Father Bell.
kind of pushing him forward?
But before I go, I will just reach out to the sergeant and say, I offer you the blessing of the prophet, that you may open the heart of your commander to the rightness of your actions. And I cast prophet's holy blessing on him, with the purpose of allowing him to be able to talk his way out of getting in trouble.
Well, you have definitely. He kind of thanks, like the helmet turns, and again it's this very sort of metallic thank you through the helmet, and then he goes back to being berated. He is both afraid, and with 9 points, he is basically afraid, confused, and commanded, sort of all rolled up into one.
Look, we'll be on the planet finding the person who trained you and taking my cleaning rod and shoving it way up their bottom.
You definitely hear someone snicker.
Is filthy, and you should be
I am. What are you laughing at? And
you get your men under control, Sergeant.
He turns around and starts yelling at his men.
I just walk up the ramp and close it.
You leave 6 very confoozled inquisitorial troops who, hopefully with Father Bell's, the Inquisitors are not known for their forgiving or understanding nature, and you have left them in a pickle, but maybe Father Bell's influence will help them out. Cutter.
Not my influence.
Brother Gabriel, you're so forceful with them. As soon as we get on the floor, I start cleaning my rifle.
Cutter sort of is breaking down his weapon. All right, by the time you get back to House Hawkwood, Valoria is waiting there, and she has several crates. What did you do? I have an Inquisitor, Francos he is demanding that I detain you. I have, of course, told him that I have not seen you today, and that that my air car was reported stolen. What have you done?
I'm going to start taking the crates and taking them onto the ship.
I'll help.
There are medical supplies.
Basically, the Avesti have very tiny little heads, and they've only got room for so much fundamentalism in there, and it keeps them from being able to properly maintain their weapons.
I'm going to chalk this up to one of those things that when we have more time, you will explain in detail. Your ship, the one here, this is a House Hawkwood transport that was supposed to take off a half hour ago. You need to be on it, and you need to be on your way. I will see what I can do to smooth this over. I don't have very many favors with the Inquisition, but hopefully if you lie low. Do you know where you're going?
We do.
Is it off the beaten path?
Very.
So off.
Excellent. Go with the grace of the Pancreator, all of you.
The Inquisition, or forces within it, are seeking to suppress Saint Beatrice. She is the lost saint, and they feel that she is prescribed. But this is some error which has crept in, and I fear a greater influence of the darkness, even within the body of the church. Guard yourself well, and go with the blessing of the prophet.
All right. So very soon you are back on the ship, and when you get on there, the pilot kind of calls back, "Hey, I'm supposed to input a new registry. What do we want to name this thing?" House Hawkwood Transport.
Lady of Light.
Oh, I was gonna say like
Luminata?
Yeah, something light. I wasn't gonna be blatant Lady of Light, but I mean, if that's what Father Bell wants.
Lady of Light with 2 middle fingers on either side of it for the Inquisition.
Right.
Lady of Light, Luminata, which one are we going with? I can't take off without it.
How about, I mean, Lightbringer?
I feel like we're gonna get sued for copyright infringement over that one.
Right?
Chat, any ideas?
Don't go to the chat. Oh my gosh.
I guess. Let's see. In Latin, that would be like Luminatrix, right? Luminatrix.
Perfect.
All right. As the ship takes off and you leave Ravenna behind, you quickly make your way toward the jump gate. The codes that Father Bell provides. The chat recommended Luminaris Aternea. So
It's kind of a mouthful.
the crew, yeah, Phantom of Truth. If I stumbled over it just reading it in chat, I don't know that I could say it every week. But
Yeah,
I like
imagine introducing that at the beginning of every session.
The jump gate opens up, and again, right, you see the image of the last time the jump gate was there, and it opens on an asteroid field. None of the asteroids are moving, right? And as your ship kind of goes through, you start getting rock backed and forth as asteroids kind of and smaller rocks are pinging off the ship. The jump gate here is not ideally positioned. And then Phlegethon comes into view. Its nacreous atmosphere sort of reflecting in the light of the sun of this system. And as you approach the clouds, it takes you several hours to make your way in system. As the Luminatrix, so we went with? All right, descends into the clouds. We will pause there. We will pick up next week with you guys arriving at Phlegethon and searching in the wreckage of this planet for Perpetua. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. Chat, I hope you realize now that I am getting constant updates and I love reading and involving you and sharing your thoughts with the group. We will be back next Thursday with more Fading Suns. We will be back on Tuesday with more of our tour game. If you have not checked in with that, we left off at a cliffhanger. And the once heroic Storm Knight Lapis is now holding an entire aircraft carrier hostage. Occam's Razor suggested the radioactive bullet as the name of the ship. So close.
I was going to suggest Furball.
We may be back with a new name for the ship.
We could change the whole thing. We could change the whole thing to like old time radio drama feel. We could be the Bulleteers.
Little bullet helmets.
Yep.
If you guys danced more, you could be the Bullets. On Thursdays, Ulysses has campfire chats for Myth, Tales of Legend. They have shows for basically every one of the games that Ulysses does. If you like Fading Suns and want to know more about it, go to their YouTube channel and check out Heretical Musings. It's with two of the designers and creators of the new edition of Fading Suns, and they are knowledgeable and they share a ton of stuff. So yes, thank you as always for tuning in. Thank you for participating in the chat, for watching here, for watching on YouTube. We will share the comments that get left on the show and share thank yous for that. Thank you to my wonderful crew for participating in this crazy put together that has turned into just an amazing game that I enjoy running. For the Curse of the Abandoned, we are almost done with this arc, and I just want to say thanks to everyone who has been involved. And again, thank you to our producer JD. I do not say that often enough, who is working tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure the show looks good and to make sure you guys in the chat are entertained. Are you not entertained? Thank you, JD. Until next Thursday, stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy your games, tell great stories, and we will see you on Thursday next week.